object permanence, the understanding that an object continues to exist even when it's no longer present. The understanding that an object continues to exist even when it's no longer. You ever, any of you drive a car or you have a car outside? What if you went out there and it was gone? Okay, you'd think about that, wouldn't you? Okay, well, newborn, out of sight, out of mind. To by the end of those first 2 years of period, by the time they're 24 months, now they're upset when there becomes an issue. Let's talk back to talking about Piaget again. Infancy, those first 2 years of life, or as he called sensory motor period, is the strongest part of Piaget's theory. And the reason it's strong is because you had psychologists who followed him, Ellen Markman, Eleanor Gibson, Eleanor McAbee, and various other scholars who opened up laboratories and worked with infants. In other words, Gibson had a laboratory where she had different tasks that the infants did. She had a high chair with one task where the child would watch a train go round and round, another task where it sit with a monkey clap, and another task had different tasks, and then you have a train, other issues, and different tasks. And basically have them come in every so many years. You know, say come in at 4 months old, at 6 months old, at 12 months old, at 24 months old, and basically work them on the same task. We talk about longitudinal studies at the beginning of the quarter and cross-sectional studies. Longitudinal studies would be one way you could look at Gibson and Markman's study, where we're taking the same group of kids and observing them over a period of time. Okay, but it's also cross-sectional because you're comparing the results of different children at different ages at the same time on these same tasks. Okay, but Piaget came up with these 4 or 5 substages: 0 to 4 months, 4 to 8 months, 9 to 12 months, 12 to 18 months, 18 to 24 months. We're talking about stage around 12 to 18 months, around 2 to 4 versus from and to. In other words, when you're talking about going from stage to stage, it's a gradual process. The kid just doesn't wake up I'm in a new stage of development. It's usually a gradual process. Okay, and different children mature at different rates. Okay, and so, but eventually, that's why I say around a certain age. So my kid had achieved this at 6 years as opposed to what they're supposed to be 12 years. My kid's a genius. No, your kid may have reached that level at an early age, but eventually the other kid's going to catch up, possibly. But back to the sub-stages, 0 to 4 months, eye tracking. Pediatricians, they take the things they do when they bring the infant in is they move something back and forth and they'll follow it. So eye tracking. Okay, that's the main task that's being taken place during this time period, according to Piaget. And then the next stage, limited visual search. One of the tasks that Eleanor Gibson used was had an infant watch a train go round and round in circles. And they had one aspect where the train would come and it would disappear in a tunnel and stop. And Piaget would notice what happens if you talk about the eye tracking. 3 or 4 month old, when the train disappears, their eyes remain on this side and kind of look here, and eventually will lose interest. On the other hand, the 5 and 6 month old, when that train comes and disappears, their eyes immediately go to the opposite side. Repeat that. The 3 or 4 month old, train goes, disappears, they stop, look on this side, they eventually lose interest. On the other hand, the 5 month old, 5 or 6 month old, their eyes immediately look to the other side when they come out. So something's changed. Okay, the quality of the infant's ability to process information has changed. Where one infant will lose interest, where the others will expect that to appear someplace else. Okay, but they call this next period, in terms of 6 and 8 month olds, that's more of limited visual search, okay, as opposed to manual search. That's what the 9 to 12 months old get into. If you look at video, one of the videos I also sent with this, where you had the dad put a cucumber up under a coconut, and the kid was like out of sight, out of mind. Okay, and in other words, they covered up the child. It was like he was gone. Okay, he did it several times, and the infant still didn't get it. Okay, and that's an example of that limited visual search. That coconut there is fine. I like it. I want it. But then as soon as he covered up, the cucumber, as soon as he covered it up, like it didn't exist. Okay? 9 to 12 months manual search. In other words, 3 months later, that same child is going to reach and take that coconut and pick it up and take those cucumbers under there. That's called manual search. In other words, now he moved. Piaget did it with his daughter when he saw his daughter playing with a toy, and he put his hand in front of the toy so she tried to move his hand out of the way so she can continue to play. Okay, that's what we're talking about, manual search. But they make this A not B error between 9 to 12 months old. They make that what they call A not B error. In other words, let's suppose you have, get two of these. Say you have first, you have this under here, pick it up and get it. In other words, you hide it under there and then pick it up. Okay, that's what manual search, like the coconut. See a coconut, just pick it up and get the cucumber. Let's suppose I do this 3 or 4 times, have a second cover here. And on the 4th time, I put it under here, the first cover, while the infant is watching, put it under the second cover. You know, 10-month-old will do? They'll reach for the first one, okay, and give up. That's what A not B, okay, A not B mistake they make, okay. And then finally, you have 12 to 18 months. Now, 12-month-old, search where last seen. You can do that this 15 times, put under, and then let's move from one to the other. They'll go right to where they last saw. So they go to the second cover. So they pass that A not B test. Okay, but search where last seen. But think about 12 to 18 months. You're also starting to see an emergence of fear, or fear of strangers peaks sometimes between 14 to 18 months. Okay, think about 7 months old, strangers, no big deal. They'll smile at almost anybody. But at 8 months old, they start getting more particular. And then 9, 10 months old, the fear of strangers gets worse. It eventually peaks out some 14 to 18 months. Specific attachments, that's what Elmer McAfee referred to. Specific attachments, okay, fear of strangers. And you see that manifested in 2 ways. Protest and separation. Also, you also see that in terms of mom leaves, baby cries or gets upset. That's protest, separation, and also the fear of strangers. No, you're not my mother, so I'm not going to trust you. Okay, and that fear of strangers tends to peak between 12 to 18 months. Let's also search where last seen. Okay, search where last seen. Okay, search all places, 12 to 18 to 24 months. Let's suppose, once again, I do all of this and back and forth, and let's suppose even before this, I might take it and sneak out, say under the second one or even under the first one, here, and then eventually I have a trap door and remove it, okay, or maybe put the object in my hand and move it out here, okay. Search where last seen. Well, a 12 and 14-month-old infant, they'll search where they last saw it. Where the 18 months, you played a trick on me. I'm going to search your hand too. And they'll search all places. Okay, and that's Piaget's stages of object permanence.